Tonight, from MetLife Stadium in New Jersey, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Taylor and the New York Giants taking on Matt Ryan and the Indianapolis Colts.
We're situated about 8 miles west of New York City. At MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Indianapolis Colts and the New York Giants. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll have the speedy Tyrod Taylor calling the shots, the former Virginia Tech Hokie.
One of the classiest quarterbacks in the NFL and always in a difficult position because he has the skills to be a starter, but there's usually a youngster behind him that they're grooming and they want on the field. But when given an opportunity to be the guy, he's led teams to the playoffs and he's also gone to the Pro Bowl. A great combination of arm and legs, not to mention a brilliant mind.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. To throw is Taylor. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's third down. On third down, Taylor. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down. On fourth down, Jamie Gillen on to punt for the Giants. And here's Rodgers on the return. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll have Matt Ryan calling the shots, the former MVP and third overall pick.
And I think if there's one quarterback in the league who sometimes gets taken for granted, to me it's Matt Ryan, because I think throughout his career he's been consistently excellent. Frequent member of the 4,000-yard club, savvy veteran, knows how to throw the deep ball and create big plays. And yes, he will beat you from the pocket.
A good pickup there, 21 yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Jones. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No. It's incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. And this guy born just across the Hudson in the Bronx, Saquon Barkley. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. Once he broke through that first wave of defenders, there was a pretty big gap there for him to run.
And it helps that they were in a dime defense. That's 6 defensive backs. So this is why a lot of teams now are searching for those linebacker safety combo type guys who can add a little bit more size on the defensive side of the ball, but can still run as well. Because when you run against 6 DBs with some bigger offensive linemen, you often get this result.
This is caught. Touchdown! Michael Pittman, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Colts will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
5 plays there on that drive. And it was capped off on the touchdown catch by Michael Pittman. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So the Giants getting the football back here for their 2nd drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Here's Taylor. And now a fumble. The ball's out, and the Colts pick it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at their 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Jones. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Justin Jefferson taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Colts have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Well, we've talked about it before. You know, this jet sweep, something a lot of teams like to run nowadays, and this one winds up in the end zone.
And it is all about creating different ways to get the ball in the hands of your playmakers. And wasn't it interesting that prior to this game, the head coach told us, I saw this sitting in my chair watching a Tuesday night college game and decided to implement it myself.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Taylor's throw brought in by Bellinger. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Taylor finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. On first down, it's Taylor. That'll be complete to Breida. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be 2nd down. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Taylor. And he'll go underneath here to Breida. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2. Now Taylor. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Galladay. And he will have a Giants first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They go counter with Breida. Rodney McLeod up to make the tackle.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was Taylor hit. He lost the football. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. He already had the 1 fumble loss, so now 2 fumbles lost here in this first half.
Not setting the pace the way that you want it done. I mean, here in the first half, already twice the ball's come out and hit the turf. Got to find a way to take care of it. Otherwise, they may have to start thinking about maybe someone different at that position.
And it is incomplete. Good positioning there downfield to break that one up. To throw again on 2nd down. Jones. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing Jones. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. A big play there for Indy. 46 yards. They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. They'll try and run forward with Barkley. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the gain there. 2nd and goal. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Another try for Barkley. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Colts have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game, and no signs of slowing down.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Open man is Galladay, complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now they got to get to the line quickly. That's to Galladay. What a catch. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Now Taylor. He'll get this one to Galladay. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Throwing again, it's Taylor. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line.
All right, let's go ahead and just add it up here. Their last 3 drives, 2 fumbles and an interception. Somewhere, to paraphrase one of the great coaches of the NFL, they're asking on that sideline, what the heck is going on out there?
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete, but the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So a costly penalty yardage-wise, as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. If you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw. Jones. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored 1, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Catch made here by Campbell. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And his kick here is good. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these 2 teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead, finish up the half, and get on out and talk about it.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Second half begins with a run from Barkley. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Meanwhile, Jones' throw pulled in by Jefferson. The 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Justin Jefferson. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Colts come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the third quarter. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Breida, they'll go up the middle. And he'll get about 3 up close to the 35. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has now allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now it's Taylor. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long game or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. Pass is caught by Wan'Dale Robinson. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 30. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Well, that ground game just continues to struggle to really get any momentum in this ball game, Charles. And I mean, you're at the point here, third quarter, down 4 scores, probably going to have to put it in the air.
Oh, no question about it. So that's your only chance, your only opportunity. But think of the pressure you just put on your offensive line, because if you're a pass rusher, you're not even thinking about them running the football. All you're doing is getting into that sprinter stance and going after the quarterback.
This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Now Taylor to throw. Out to the right here to Shepard. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 14. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The DeForest Buckner using those big hands and getting in there and bringing him down for the sack. After the sack on first down, Taylor flush under pressure again, and down he goes again. DeForest Buckner, his 2nd sack of the night. 3rd and long. Taylor and company hoping to regroup after the sack. They'll look to throw. A throw for Galladay is going to be intercepted. Sauce Gardner puts it off. And the Colts are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. They'll try and run some clock here with Barkley. And some space here. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Saquon Barkley with his second touchdown of the night. And the Colts add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just what silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good work on the scamper by Tagovailoa. It's a first down. Now Tua. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. On second and very short, Tua forced out to his left. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up third. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. A quick pass here has got Shepard. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 38-yard line. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll work this down inside the 30. To throw again on second down. Tua. And that's complete to Shepard. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Now a first and 10 at the 11. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Looking middle, and that's complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And it's second down. And again, it's Tagovailoa. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And the Colts are going to have the football at their own 1-yard line. CD, this defense, man, at this rate, they're just having fun out there right now.
And normally with this type of a lead, if you're a starter on defense, you're saying, hey, let the other guys play. But with this going on, no one wants to come out of the game. They all want their shot at picking off a pass.
Looking for Campbell downfield. And it's incomplete. They're still throwing to the very end. But now this game is over. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed to sleep. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from East Rutherford.